My name is Terry Mitchell, and I'm here today with my father, B.R. Mitchell. He's 91 years old, and he's a veteran of World War II. Now, Dad, I know that you joined the Army in October of 1940, and you joined the Army Air Corps specifically, and were trained to be an aircraft mechanic.
Right. I couldn't say I couldn't train for as a pilot because I didn't have 2 years of college education at that time requirement. Later on, they dropped that requirement, and any enlisted man who could pass the test, mental and physical test, and had a high school diploma could apply for pilot training.
Dad, I know you've told me that on December 7th of 1941, you were stationed at Wichita Falls Air Base.
Right.
And tell us what you were doing that day when you heard the news.
Well, I was in Wichita Falls. We learned that if we went to church there, that families would invite us out to dinner. The military guys knew that. So I had a family that I went to dinner with 2 or 3 times. They had a 16-year-old girl who had a crush on me, but she was too young. But anyway, she and I were playing Chinese checkers in their home one Sunday, the 7th of December, when we heard about the Pearl Harbor. And immediately the word came out that all military men returned to their bases immediately. And I had to do that.
Let's jump ahead a little bit. You were accepted for pilot training, and you went through a variety of different schools and graduated as a pilot in the U.S. Army Air Corps. And
as a staff sergeant pilot.
Yeah, at that time you were promoted to staff sergeant, and with special designation as staff
I had been
sergeant.
a private up until that time. I was a private, and then graduated to staff sergeant. That's pretty big jump.
Yeah, sure was. Well, anyway, then they sent you to Will Rogers Field here outside Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
In November of 1942,
right,
to train for combat flying the aircraft, a fighter bomber called the A-20.
Right.
So tell us a little bit about your time here at Will Rogers Field in Oklahoma City.
Well, we flew missions all around the area. One particular time, we had up north of there. They had a target down a big wall, and they could pull one out and a target on it, and put it back. But anyway, one day I was coming in getting ready to come down, and I saw this other airplane that had been by right before me. When it came up, the guys behind the wall for safety, when he was coming down, and after he got past me, ran around to the other side, and I couldn't figure that out because that. So I went ahead and did my deal, and then when we got back to the base, and I saw them coming out of the CO's office, kind of looking kind of sad, and his gunners. And I said, "What happened back there?" And he said, "Oh, these gunners, when I got my gun passed, and they decided, well, I'll tell you, the A-20 had 2 guns that you could shoot behind, shooting through the rear, and they could step on a little deal and shoot those guns. And when they came back up that target, these guys that were behind that other target, they started shooting at them. They were running around trying to get away from it.
Tell us about that last mission and the German fighters that had the rockets.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
yeah, I forgot
German
about
fighters that were armed with rockets, something new.
Forgot all about that. Yeah, it was the last mission. Fortunately, we were in, when you started on the bombing deal in B-17, the what the hell? The bombardier took over the airplane. In fact, later it was just automatically taken over by the, and you had to fly straight and level for your bomb run, so that the bombs could be dropped where they want them. Well, we were flying like that, and the tail gunner called and said there are three, I think it was three Germans on our tail, ones that I've never seen before, airplanes that I had never seen before, and they are out of my range, but they're shooting at us. And about that time, I saw something go over the wing, and my co-pilot on his side, and outside about 300 yards, and exploded. And that was one. The next fighter lined us up and did the same thing. They came right over our wings and went out of ahead of us.
And these things going over your wings were rockets, right?
Yeah, rockets was what was big stuff. And for all three of them did the same thing. That last one, we took off, I jammed that throttle, and as fast as that B-17 to fly, we got out of there.
So none of those rockets hit you,
No.
but it was a close call.
They didn't hit. That was the most amazing thing about the whole situation. I couldn't imagine that. And I thought, even before the first one, I thought, well, we're dead. Then after the first one, well, here we are. And then it is unbelievable. I talk about luck, can't make it.